Gentlemen, welcome to episode 43 of Super Sports. Today is February 12th in the Big 26. I'm your host, Will Spain, former long snapper for the Troy Trojans, Osby Governors, and partially Houston Cougars. Joined by my side, former offensive head college Warriors, current man of electricity, Luke Wallman. And joining us from Houston, Texas, the man, the myth, the legend, former kicker for the Houston Christian Huskies and Troy Trojans, current nephew of a disappointed Troy men's basketball coach, Scott Cross. Chase Cross. Rough night for the Trojans last night, guys. Anyways, let's get into it. College basketball picks of the week for Friday through Sunday. Mid-major games to watch, as always. We're going to look at the Olympic hockey games through day 1 and 2. Premier League Darts Night 2 happened tonight. I'll give you a quick recap on that. AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am picks and preview. Great course, great venue, just overall good tournament there. NASCAR is officially back, baby. We got all 3 series picks and preview coming up for Daytona, one of the most exciting events in the sports. College baseball season is upon us, which starts our new pick'em picks of the week for college baseball. We are picking the series, not the individual game. We got a little college baseball season preview, picking all the power conferences and some of the upper mid-majors when it comes to baseball, and then who's hot and who's not. Let's dive right into it, boys. College basketball picks of the week. Kansas versus Iowa State, and I cannot actually fathom that I am alone on this. First off, I'm on Iowa State. Producer Luke and Chase are all in Kansas. Y'all don't even know if Darian Peterson's going to lace him up. Y'all don't. And Iowa State's a damn good basketball team, guys. I don't get it. I mean, what? Am I missing something here? Am I really missing something here? Like, this is an Iowa State team who scores 84 points per game, only allows 64. Yeah, they lost last time out against TCU, so they're obviously due for a bounce back. I'm working with the Cyclones. Luke, go ahead and tell me why I'm wrong first, and then Chase.
They proved last game they don't need Darian Peterson to win, and I think if Darian Peterson does play, which I think he will because he won't be sick, I think they can go into Iowa State and win. They beat the number 1 team in the country in Arizona.
You don't think there's going to be a letdown?
No.
Okay.
They've been beating ranked teams like this last 7-game stretch. They've beaten BYU. They've beaten Arizona. They beat Baylor, who's not ranked. They beat who's the other Big 12 team that's good? It's Texas Tech. They beat Texas Tech at Texas Tech. So I think this Kansas team is kind of like coming alive, finally come to fruition. And I don't care if Peterson plays or not. It's going to stress me out if Peterson doesn't play, but I think they're going to get this done.
Chase, why do you like the Jayhawks?
Well, to start off with, like Luke said, Kansas showed that they can win without Peterson. And I think this also has to come down to more of I just am not as confident in Iowa State as I was earlier in the year. They just don't look as dominant to me. And then on top of it, Kansas has played some really good basketball over the last couple of weeks. They're red hot behind maybe Houston. I think they're the second hottest team right now in the Big 12. I just see it going Kansas' way this weekend, and it's just a field pick, but I really like this Jayhawks team.
I really like my opportunity to get some wins on the board here, to be honest with you, especially with Luke. He threw me for a loop on a couple of these. Kentucky heads to Florida. It's a big game in the SEC. Me, the producer, and Chase are all in the Gators. Luke, you're on the Kentucky Wildcats. Chase, and I'm going to let me and you talk first here. I'm pretty sure you're going to be in agreement here. I think this, first off, the size for Florida, I think will be able to kind of neutralize Oweh. I think the guard play is just going to outdo Kentucky. I think Kentucky's a solid team, but I think Florida, especially at home, kind of easily wins this, no?
I would say so, yeah. I think Florida's definitely better than Kentucky in all facets. Like, if you look at Kentucky's last couple of games, yes, they have won games and they have been impressive, but they're coming back and winning these games late. They start really slow, which this Florida team is going to jump all over them. And I just don't think that they're going to give up a lead. Like, this is a talented group, and it's a little bit different than, some of the comebacks they've had, like versus Tennessee and stuff like that. Florida's going to jump on them, and they're not going to let back up.
Well, I agree. Luke, I'm shocked.
It's just gut
You're with
feeling.
the Cats.
It's gut feeling. I just feel like Kentucky is going to come in, and it's going to be their night. because some teams it's just their night. I think Kentucky's going to come in, they're going to shoot the ball very well, and they're going to keep rolling because we saw Kentucky early in the year absolutely slump, calling for Pope's head. Been way better as of late, and I think this is a resume builder, and they get it done.
Miami playing NC State in the ACC at NC State. We are all on the Wolfpack, which also kind of surprised me, to be honest with you. This is a very high marquee ACC game. Yeah, really for me, it came down to NC State is at home. Yeah, they got absolutely embarrassed last time out, which I think is going to get this Will Wade team kind of up and ready for this game. I mean, this is a team that has tournament aspirations and is currently in my tournament field. So I don't expect NC State to, one, drop back-to-backs. I do think they're overall better in Miami. I think they've got better guard play and shooting. I think they're a little bit better in the interior. I'm very, and I've been pretty outward about this, I'm not very impressed with this Miami team at all. So I am going with the Wolfpack here. Luke, why do you like NC State, though?
Home games. I'm not impressed with Miami either. Now, they beat Carolina, which was a good win, but you were at home, and I just don't see them going to travel to NC State off of NC State's absolute butt kicking they received from Louisville. So I think they're going to have a bounce back game and win.
Chaser, why do you think NC State's getting this one done?
Well, this one was a tricky one because, yes, Miami just got a massive one against North Carolina, but NC State's actually been pretty solid at home, and this is a good NC State team. Obviously they got blown out by Louisville, but this team had played some really good basketball over the last couple of weeks, and I think Will Wade's a good enough coach. We've seen, teams like we've seen it pretty recently. Teams will get blown out at their midweek games and then come out and have a dominant performance on the weekend. So, and vice versa. They play great the weekend before and then lose in their midweek games. So it's just that part of this time of the season where it's just hard to get wins against quality teams. And so I just think this NC State team is a little bit better than Miami. And I mean, not that Miami can't go in here and win, but I just think it's going to be very tough for them to beat this NC State team, especially with how NC State minus their game against Louisville has played over the recent weeks.
Now to the mid-majors for the rest of our slate. Just really wanted to make it interesting this week. Lipscomb in the A-Sun, a huge game, essentially to get the second place in seeding in that tournament. Austin Peay has kind of run away with it, surprisingly. Lipscomb at Queens in Charlotte, North Carolina. Me and Chase are on Lipscomb. Luke and Michael Rabbit, the home team in Queens. Look, let me talk to you about Grant Asman. 14.5 points per game, 6.2 rebounds, a 6'11 forward for Lipscomb. Is that going to absolutely dominate this Queens team in the interior? He's going to be a problem. Queens has no one that can match up with him. I think they're just going to run essentially the offense through him. I really think that's the major factor here for Queens. I just don't think they'll be able to keep up with the size of Lipscomb in the interior. I think rebounding will be a huge issue. Chase, I'm pretty sure this is probably what you saw as well.
I think so too. Lipscomb is very big inside, and I think they're a little bit better team, even though they do have the same record in conference. I just, you want to go with the size every time, especially in these mid-major matchups. It makes a difference, especially at this point in the season.
What do you mean? Luke, Royals. Feeling Royal.
Yeah, I think they were my preseason pick.
They were. So
it was my preseason
good call.
pick. So I'm going to kind of ride with them. Also, it's a home game, and what we've seen time and time and again, most of the time with these mid-majors, the home team wins. And if you're looking at common opponents, they beat North Florida. Lipscomb did by 6. Queens beat them by 20. So there's some things with the common opponent thing.
Okay, but Lipscomb was on the road.
I understand that. They also lost to Austin Peay by less, and they also lost to UCA, I think, by less. No. Lipscomb lost by 2 points, though. So, I'm just going to go with Queens at home.
Huge game in the Ivy here. And yes, they have a tournament now with 4 teams, but getting that 1 seed is crucial because the difference between 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the Ivy is a huge drop-off. This is a huge game between Harvard and Yale. Not only is it a rivalry game, but this is essentially for the 1 seed in the Ivy League tournament. I am absolutely stoked for this as someone who, as a kid, I was a smart kid, so I really liked Ivy League basketball for whatever reason. I've always been a Harvard guy, which is, I'll be honest with you, the only reason I picked them. However, hey, you beat Yale last time out at Yale, so why not go it and do it again? Big believer in the Crimson. Give me Harvard. The rest of y'all Yale, including the producer. So why do you like Yale?
I think they're not going to let this happen. I think Nick Townsend's going to go out there, dominate this game. They're not losing to Harvard twice this year. It's going to be one of those nice reverse splits.
It will. It should be a good game, but don't forget about Robert Hinton. Damn good ball player.
ESPNU.
Yeah.
National television.
As it should be. This should be a nationally televised spot. Chase, why do you like the Bulldogs?
Same reason as Lou, man. I don't think that this Harvard team is better than Yale. Yes, they beat them at Yale, which was a great win for Harvard. But I think that this Yale team is the best team in the Ivy League, but without a shadow of a doubt. So, I'm going to go with Yale here. They're not going to get swept by Harvard, especially in these rivalry settings. It's so hard to sweep. So I'm going to go with Yale on this one.
We are now heading to the West Coast Conference. We have a huge matchup between Gonzaga on the road at Santa Clara. Gonzaga pretty safely in the tournament field. Santa Clara, though, currently in my last four in, we're all on Gonzaga. Me, Michael, and Chase, except for Lukey Pookie over here on the Santa Clara Broncos. I don't even know why I have to explain myself here. I think Gonzaga is top to bottom way better than Santa Clara. I think Gonzaga, by the way, as a Gonzaga follower for 20 years pretty much, we always drop one of those games to Portland. So no alarm has even been sounded in my mind. I was just pissed. I think 3.5 is such a generous spread for Vegas to give this game, and I think Gonzaga wins this game by 8, if not more. Chase, we're just more athletic on Gonzaga's side, right? It's just night and day.
Oh, 100%. It's not even – I think that this game is being marketed as a close game to the public, and just everybody's like, oh, it's going to be a close one. Santa Clara's good. And yes, in their own right, they deserve to be a tournament team. They deserve to be one of those last four teams, but I think that a lot of what's being made about this game is because of the fact that Gonzaga did lose to Portland. And like you said, this is something pretty common you see with a Gonzaga team, especially, at this point in the year. Gonzaga always drops one. It's so hard to just win.
Or to run the table. I don't care what conference you're in.
People don't understand how hard it is to run the table in any sport, but especially college basketball, where night in, night out, anybody can win, because the margins are a lot smaller in college basketball than they are in, the NBA or in the NFL or one of those professional leagues. The margins are so small in college basketball, except if, maybe you're a blue blood program. But, Gonzaga, way more talented than Santa Clara. I think they get it done here, and it's not going to be close.
Luke, why in the world does Santa Clara win this basketball game?
I'm going to quote what Chase Cross just said. Night in, night out, anybody can win. They've had this game circled ever since they went to Gonzaga and lost by 12, which is going to the kennel and only losing by 12. I'd almost call that a win. They have been blowing people out as well outside of Washington State, where they only won by 3. They've been rolling, and I just think this is, again, it's a nice little gut feeling, and I think Santa Clara is going to be able to get it done at home.
I can't disrespect. You know how I feel about the Santa Clara team. I think they're a damn good team. I just don't think they're Gonzaga's level. We got a 5 p.m. Sunday tip on ESPN2. During the Daytona 500s, I'll be fully transparent. I will not be tuning in. Belmont on the road against Murray State in a massive Missouri Valley Conference basketball game. Y'all are all on Murray. I'm on Belmont. Dude, are you kidding me? Give me Tyler Lundblade and the Belmont Bruins. And Drew Starnowski, 6'9" forward, 230 pounds, baby. We got some beef on the inside. I just think offensively Belmont is better. And Murray State has given up almost 80 points a game. I just don't think their defense can be able to shut down this Belmont offense at all. I do not care if they're on the road. It's honestly not that much of a travel anyway, from Nashville to Murray, Kentucky. So I really like the Belmont Bruins. Expect this atmosphere, though, to be electric, because I do think Belmont fans will travel for this game. Give me the Bruins. Luke, why do you like the Racers?
I think they're just going to be playing at home, and like my reasoning for the other pick, these mid-major schools, even though it's not as big as a travel, like, say, what was our other mid-major team? Queens to
Lipscomb. Yeah.
It's still a travel. You're still having to get on a bus and drive up there. So, I just got gut feeling. That's what we're kind of going with these picks. Gut feeling, Murray State.
Producers also on Murray. Chase, why do you like Murray?
They've actually been playing some really good
No,
basketball.
I'm not denying that
as
at
of
all.
late.
They have.
I mean, Murray State's on a roll. And not to discredit anything Belmont's done this year, because Belmont's been actually one of the best mid-major teams in the country. But Murray State's been rolling lately. I'm going with the hot hand at home. I mean, like you said, it's not a big travel, but home court advantage does matter in these matchups, especially with two really talented basketball programs. So I'm going to go with Murray State here.
In major games to watch, we have an absolute banger in the Sun Belt on Saturday. It was a good game in Mobile, Alabama, so I expect it to be a good game as well in Jonesboro, Arkansas, Saturday in the Sun Belt. South Alabama heading to the Red Wolves, 7-4, which, don't get me wrong, I don't know why there's such a discrepancy in conference games played. 7-4 in the Sun Belt for South Alabama, 7-6 for Arkansas State. I think this is a huge game for Arkansas State in terms of seeding for the Sun Belt tournament. If you're not familiar with the Sun Belt tournament, it is a literal gauntlet. It's a gauntlet. Go look up the tournament bracket. The better seed you are, it really gives you an advantage. And I've never seen any tournament like it. It's awesome. I think Arkansas State, this is honestly a must-win for them in terms of seeding for the Sun Belt. I think South Alabama will give them a hell of a game. I think this will be a fun game to watch, but I do expect Arkansas State to pull it on at home. Luke, who's your mid-major game of the week? And I love this pick, by the way, on national television.
I mean, we got the Patriot League. The Colgate has ran the Patriot League for the last, I'd say 5 years. I think almost every March Madness bracket we've had, I have picked Colgate to upset because, I mean, they usually got their token little white boy that can go out there and shoot the three. But, I mean, it's going to be a great game. We got Navy, number 1 in the Patriot League, versus Colgate, who's number 2. Colgate has not played Navy yet, so they will play them again at the end of the year, which could end up being the first place game at the last game of the season. Now, this is something very rare from Navy. They have a 6'11 center, which for a mid-major team is huge. So I know Colgate has graduated their 2 big guys that have been with them for the last few years. So I think that might be a little bit of an issue, but it should be a great game nonetheless.
Chaser, talk to me about your awesome Maction in your mid-major matchup of the week.
You know, I am outside of the Sun Belt, the MAC, you guys know, is one of my favorite
we all
mid-major
love the MAC here on
conferences.
Swiss Army. Come on.
I absolutely love Maction for football, for college football, and then basketball this year. They've been electric. This one is it's a rivalry game in the MAC. Televised on ESPN2 Friday night. It's going to be a big-time environment. Do I think Miami, Ohio loses to Ohio? No. But it's going to be a fun game, a fun environment.
Scrappy Ohio team.
Scrappy Ohio team. Definitely scrappy. We'll keep it close and keep it interesting. I think Miami, Ohio will win this one. But it's going to be a fun game, especially when it's nationally televised. Anytime you can get Sun Belt, MAC, any of those mid-major games on a major network like ESPN, it's always fun to watch. So watch out for this one Friday night.
Some of these games have not gone how I thought they were going to go. Let's just say that. Starting off with our first game, Slovakia, who has 7 NHL players, 24 on the side of Finland, 4-1. UC Stars looked terrible in this game, but I will say, Juraj Slavkovsky, the Montreal Canadian, looked unbelievable for Slovakia on February 11th. 4-1 win for Slovakia over Finland. Chase, I don't know if you caught this game.
I did.
Okay, so Finland really played well, well enough to win. Just offensively speaking, defensively, I felt like they gave up way too much room up the middle of the ice and really had some neutral zone issues that created opportunities for Slovakia to win this game. And, the empty netter buried it. Juraj Slavkovsky, though, first goal and third goal, absolutely dirty upper shelf on both of them. What'd you take away from this one?
Honestly, I want to say this is probably more about Finland's defense than it is about Slovakia. I thought Finland was very poor defensively, and they missed a lot of chances on the offensive end, which is a little concerning from a side that, we thought could challenge for potentially a bronze medal or even the gold medal. Like, this is a good Finnish side. So, definitely a little concerning. Just thought their transitions from offense to defense were very poor today. If that, I'm just speaking from what I saw. Obviously,
I agree.
You probably have a better understanding.
Yeah, that's what I mean by
transitions were
neutral zone
awful.
play in between those blue lines.
Yeah.
They just were not able to move the puck into their end of the ice and keep it there very efficiently. I'm not even actually not even close, but like in a way, kind of the same thing in the Sweden-Italy game for at least the first period. And we were tied 2-2 going into the third in an Italy team that has no NHL players on it. And Sweden, literally the third best odds to win the tournament. Yes, Sweden took over and they looked faster on the ice than Italy. But honestly, I think this game is more about, yes, Sweden was going to win this game. They did look good. I mean, they had like 59 shots on goal. But I think it's more about Italy being, this is going to be a tough out in this tournament at home.
Well, they've got the home.
Yeah.
They had the home ice, and I mean, you see it every Olympics, but it makes a big deal to be at home. Big deal. So I think that was probably. I agree with you. I think they actually performed really well considering no NHL players on their roster.
100%, and huge tap of the tip of the cap to the goalies. They really balled out. Switzerland took care of France 4-0. It was just domination by the Swiss and Roman Yossi. Same for honestly, and this was honestly, I was very surprised by how dominant this next game was. Canada 5-0 over Czechia. Czechia has talent. I mean, Dostal in net has been unbelievable for the Ducks. He just could not handle the speed and the motion of this Canadian offense. Czechia had their chances, especially David Pastrnak in the third period. I thought he was going to get Czechia on the board. But, I mean, this is just utter domination by the Canadians.
Completely agree. I think Canada looks fast and their offense was going today. And, I mean, obviously that's one thing about these Olympic tournaments, I mean, they're not playing a ton of games. So if you can get rolling off the jump like that and look that good offensively, that's going to speak a lot of volumes going forward for you.
I'll skip to Germany, Denmark. Leon Draisaitl scored 23 seconds into this game. Shout out to the Oilers. This is going to be a Germany team that's going to be a tough out in that U.S. side of the pool. But man, Denmark's poor. But they kept it close for a little bit. Germany just pulled away in the third period, 3-1 win for the Germans. We'll speak about the United States. Sweating a little bit after first period, 1-1. We had 2 goals disallowed, but we had shot 15.
That's what I was going to say. It should have been 3-1.
Really, on paper, yeah, this was closer than I thought it was going to be. We just looked really good. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, we were so fluid on the offense. Puck movement was great. Power play looked good. Hellebuck was able to get tested, which is what I wanted to see, was Hellebuck get tested in this Olympic setting. He did. Latvia had some offense going. He did let up a goal, but I felt like he played the way we needed him to play. I would honestly like to see Ottinger get some minutes. But I'm pretty satisfied.
I would too. I would love to see Ottinger get some minutes.
Look, I'm a Stars hater, but Ottinger is, I mean, he's a damn good goalie, and I would love to see him get some playing time.
I think he's the best. I've been saying this for a little bit. I think he's the best American goalie I know. Obviously, Hellebuck's got the experience, but
you never know with this Olympic format. I mean, we obviously could see Ottinger in the next game, but I don't know about you. I'm stoked. I'm really happy with the way we played.
Oh, me too. I think this kind of affirms our prediction that we are going to get a Canada-USA final just because of how both teams played today. And Finland and Sweden, we would say the 2 biggest challengers to both sides, just didn't.
No, they were not firing on all cylinders at all. Not even close.
Did not look as good as Canada.
100%. Premier League darts was really entertaining today. Luke Littler barely edged out Luke Humphries in the quarterfinals here in Belgium, 6-5. Michael van Gerwen dominated Josh Rock 6-2. Johnny Clayton, okay, this was such a weird darts match. Stephen Bunting was up 4-0 in a 1-6 and let Johnny Clayton win 6 legs in a row. He just historically has struggled in the Premier League. We kind of thought those struggles were going to end today. They did not. Gerwin Price, I mean, in a thriller, edged out John Van Veen in the quarterfinals, as it proved. That was Gerwin Price's night. Michael van Gerwen beat Luke Littler, which was electric. I was on my feet. I hate Luke Littler, and Michael van Gerwen's my favorite darter, so that was awesome. Gerwin Price was in an absolute thriller with Johnny Clayton, and then Gerwin Price really just dominated the finals, 6-3 against Michael van Gerwen. It was a good step in the right direction for the Premier League darts. And by the way, my sister is going to be in London for the Premier League darts final. I think I'm actually going to make a concerted effort to save up the money and go with her to the Premier League darts final. We could potentially have Swiss Army Sports boots on ground for the Premier League darts final. I will absolutely be providing social media content if that's what happens. Pebble Beach Boys is an awesome tournament. I mean, we got 2 great courses we're playing. I know the round's already started. I did not look at the round scores before I submitted my pick, just to be unbiased. I think Akshay Bhatia is kind of due for a win, guys. I mean, he's hitting the ball really well. His approach play has looked great, and he's been putting well. Those are my three keys to like success in golf. And he's just young, and I'm very excited for Akshay this season. And I really think he's honestly, I think this course plays well for the lefty. Give me Akshay Bhatia. Luke, I liked your pick.
Yeah, no, he's on my fantasy golf team, so I was like, I'll ride with him. But Shane Lowry played well in the whatever the Europeans always play to open up the year instead of going to like
World.
yeah, instead of going to Hawaii and all that. He placed third and like 20th. So he played well in those. So I was like, first PGA event, why not? Let's go Shane Lowry. Happy guy.
Chase, do you think he gets back in the winner's circle?
Grand
Grand
Slam.
Slam. Yep. I like the pick. I like Jordan as well. NASCAR Daytona. We'll start with the trucks. By the way, this is an absolute star-studded truck race for NASCAR. We have Tony Stewart, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Carson Hocevar. We've got Michael McDowell, who's currently leading the second duel. I mean, we have Cletus McFarland making the move up from ARCA to the trucks to run a truck race. This is going to be an electric race on Friday night. If y'all don't know, the trucks in Xfinity wreck a lot more than the Cups, so it makes it even doubly exciting if you're just a race fan. My pick in this truck race is going to be a seasoned veteran. All right, I'm a big fan of how. No, sorry, lagging on Grant Enfinger, but he's a veteran. He's run his trucks his entire career. He hasn't tried to make the jump or anything like that. Ran like fifth at practice. I really like Grant Enfinger in this fresh Florida 250. Luke, going in the middle.
I am. I'm going to go with Frankie Munoz. I don't really, first time really keeping up with NASCAR, but who doesn't love Malcolm in the middle? So we'll go with Frankie Munoz.
Literally was Malcolm in the middle. Frankie Muniz running a truck. Chase, I don't know if you know anything about the NASCAR trucks, but I saw your pick and I was like, damn, he also went with the veteran. He kind of knows what he's talking about. Talk to me about the 88. Riley Series used to be the Xfinity Series. We got the United Rentals 300 here in Daytona. I'm going with Justin Allgaier. He's running in the Cup as well with the 40 car. If he he already qualified. Excuse me. He practiced seventh, I believe, in the Cup. He's a damn good driver. He's an Xfinity, well, now O'Reilly veteran in this second series. I think he's kind of waiting on his opportunity to jump to Cup full time. He wins races in this middle tier of NASCAR, and I just think the seven's gonna be found in victory lane. Another winner in the now O'Reilly series, Luke, you're going with Sheldon Creed.
Yeah, Sheldon Creed, ninth overall in the season, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna reiterate this again. New to NASCAR, I only picked him because of his last name with Creed. I went to the Creed concert last year, so I mean that's really it.
Talk to me about the 21 Chaser. I love that pick too. Yeah, I don't hate the Austin Hill pick it well. As we talk about the big one, guys, the Daytona 500, this is the Super Bowl of NASCAR. I have literally cried when Ricky won, and he's going to win it again, guys. I'm just going to let you know. First off, he is the one of the best drafting racers in NASCAR. Family friend of ours, but a little bias anyway. He he has won the Daytona 500. He is constantly in the top 10, if not the top 5 at Talladega and Daytona. He just knows how to run these drafting tracks. He has a fast car this week. He's running like third right now in the duels. So they're cycling through pits. But anyway, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is going to win this race, which does not cement him in the playoffs anymore with this chase format, but it's going to get a hell of a start on the year for the 47 and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. As long as he doesn't wreck, man. It really, that's all it is. As long as he doesn't wreck. It's always kind of a crapshoot with my boy. But, Luke, I like your pick, man. He's due for a Daytona 500. Yeah. On the 25th anniversary of Dale Earnhardt dying, by the way, so it kind of lines up.
Yeah, Austin Dillon. All I know about Austin Dillon is he wrecks people. And, I mean, if you wreck people, you keep sliding up that pole. So maybe he'll be able to edge out a win. Because I remember, didn't him and Stenhouse get into it?
Oh, yeah. Well, Stenhouse, we've gotten into it with about everybody, but yeah.
Okay. It might have been Stenhouse, someone else, but I think a lot of people had a bunch of hate for Austin Dillon last year because he wrecked a bunch of people.
Oh, yeah. He wrecked a dude to get in the playoffs.
Okay. Yeah. So that is the type of mentality I like from our race car driver.
There's no way in hell, Chase, you think a three-peat's going to happen. I just got to ask you, do you know how he's run both of those races? Okay. They wrecked in front of him and he eked into it. Yes, he's literally. Anyway, I don't like William Byron, by the way. Just gonna get that out there to the Swiss Army world. Oh my God, I would hate it. College baseball starts this weekend, and we have some interesting series. I really just mostly mid majors playing power conferences, but some mid majors. We're all on Troy against Mercer. These are two of the favorites for their respective conferences. Troy in the Sun Belt, Mercer in the SoCon. We are all on the Trojans. I think we just got way better pitching. We're honestly just better across the board than Mercer. We're also all on Stetson against Minnesota. Everybody's on West Virginia against Georgia Southern. I think y'all are sleeping on the Eagles here at home. Georgia Southern, the Sun Belt's a powerhouse, and I honestly consider it a Power 5 conference in terms of baseball. I think Georgia Southern is a damn good team in the Sun Belt. I don't think West Virginia is that great, so I'm going to go with Georgia Southern here at home. Luke and Chase, do y'all have any reason why y'all picked West Virginia?
JJ Weatherholt. That's about it.
Okay. We're all on A&M against Tennessee Tech. Honestly, this is going to be a better series than people think, by the way. Tennessee Tech's a damn good team out of the Ohio Valley Conference. We're all on Tulane against Loyola Marymount. This is another electric college baseball early series, by the way. Tulane, one of the best teams in the American, if not, the country. And Loyola Marymount, the West Coast Conference really does baseball well. So I'm excited for that one as well. The producer took UNLV. We're on Austin P. I'm also really big on this Austin P baseball team. I think they're going to win the ASUN this year, and they have an absolute stacked lineup and a stacked rotation to make a run to go for even potentially a College World Series berth. But let's talk about this last one. We all know these are some demon start times. Hawaii at home against Gonzaga in baseball. Both these teams are honestly really good for mid-major baseball. I'm right with the Zags. I think they've got a little bit more in the pitching than Hawaii does to be able to get this one done. The producer agrees. Luke, why do you like the Hawaii Fighting Warriors, Rainbow Warriors, excuse me?
I mean, you're at home. I think the travel will play a little bit into it, even though it's baseball and it's a lot different from all these other sports. But again, I'm going to start keeping up with this religiously this year. So I'm excited to watch some great baseball, but I'm hoping Hawaii can eke it out.
Chase, why do you like Hawaii? Yeah, they are really similar. They both really compete in the West Coast Conference and the Big West, respectively, when it comes to baseball. Talking about baseball, we got some regular season conference championship predictions. I'm going with the Heels in the ACC. I think this is a North Carolina team that is poised to make a run to even for a title. I know they were competing with Florida State and Wake Forest in the ACC to get this on, as well as Clemson. But I'm really big on this Heels rotation, and I do think they've got the best to get it done in the ACC. Luke, you like FSU?
Oh yeah, they hosted last year. I did watch because I always watch the who don't watch the tournament, but I watched them. They hosted last year. I know they lost their star lefty to the draft, but I think FSU is gonna run the ACC again.
Chase, you like the Demon Deacons? Big Ten, UCLA is the preseason number one, guys. I think they absolutely wiped the Big Ten. I think this is no question with UCLA. Luke, you're humming a little bit and going with the Big Blue.
Oh, definitely. I'm picking Michigan. I'm homing.
So, Chase, I'm honestly, me and Luke are pretty sure both curious here. Why Maryland? Big 12 is one of the most exciting conferences basketball, baseball, excuse me. The Cats, dude, are poised to make a run in the Big 12 this year. I like Arizona. Not only do they have a beautiful stadium out west, but their hitting this year is going to be unbelievable. Give me the Cats in Arizona. TCU for you, Luke.
Yeah, TCU's coming in as number 10 preseason ranked team in the country, and TCU's made some sort of runs in the tournament as of the past few years. So they upset Arkansas that one, or was that Kansas State? I think that was TCU.
Yeah, TCU.
Okay. They upset Arkansas in their regional. I mean, I think they're kind of due to win the Big 12 this year.
Chase, Reckham Tech. I am actually.
I also am.
We're all in Creighton in the Big East. Yeah, man, home of the College World Series. They're so due for a good run. Let's move on. Yeah, they are so due. Let's move on to the SEC.
Did their coach retire?
Yes, I
The
believe
really
so.
old guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
The SEC guys is going to be a absolute gauntlet this year. I'm going with the Bulldogs. Got the coach from Virginia. Ace Reese is an absolute stud. Lineup top to bottom is great. Number one recruiting class, like number two transfer class. I mean, this Mississippi State team's gonna be damn really good. I mean, it's really scary how good the Bulldogs will be this year. They're gonna lose to Troy on Tuesday, but give me the Bulldogs for Mississippi State. Luke, calling the Hogs.
I am. Arkansas is a great baseball team until they hit the tournament. So, and what I read online was they have a very favorable schedule compared to some of these other SEC teams. So, give me Arkansas.
Chase, hook 'em horns. I do. Hey, son, we were all on the Osby Governors that I mentioned earlier. Coosa, it belongs to Dallas Baptist. That's a damn good baseball program in Dallas. The MVC is a very slept-on baseball conference. I like Evansville, the Purple Aces. I think they have an absolute stellar rotation for a mid-major program. So give me Evansville. Luke, you like Murray?
Yeah, Murray, they went to the College World Series last year as a 4 seed, which had only happened like a handful of times before that. Love their head coach. They were the number one preseason voted team in the MVC, so give me the Racers.
Indiana State for you, Chaser. Somehow we're right with the Trojans. I understand Coastal Carolina is like, this big national favorite to win the Sun Belt and also potentially make the College World Series. Screw that. Troy's winning this hoe. We are all on Troy. SoCon, also such a great baseball conference. We play them in the first series. It's going to be a great series. I'm picking Mercer to win the SoCon. I do think they have the hitting to get this done. But don't get me wrong, that rotation for Sanford is deadly. And Luke and Chase, that's who y'all think is going to get it done. Luke, why?
Oh yeah, they were preseason number one in the poll, and I think they're going to end up getting it done. So
Chase,
take the floor.
Yeah, take the floor, Chase. Well, we're wrapping up this shorter episode with Hot and Not, as we do every week episode. A little side hot for me. I did get into law school this past week, so I was pretty stoked about that. Thank you. Daytona, guys. I mean, I'm a racing fan. Like ever since I was a little kid, I had like those die casts of cars. I would line them up. I love NASCAR. I love the Daytona 500. I literally get goosebumps every year. Final laps. I've seen Ryan Newman almost die. I mean, this is an unbelievable weekend of racing. I love Daytona. My nine are the Mississippi courts, and I'm going to go on a little bit of tangent about this. You get denied 4 times for NCAA eligibility. You try to sue it like an absolute coward because you're afraid of the NFL. Trinidad Chambliss should not be eligible because of tonsillitis. He's getting his 6th year because of that at Ferris State. I think this is an absolute joke that we're allowing courts to decide eligibility now. The college sports system is so broken. This is appalling to me that Trinidad Chambliss can just sue his way to playing college football for another year. I hope they eventually find him ineligible and vacate whatever Ole Miss does this season because go to hell Ole Miss. But Luke, what are your hot not?
Kind of go off your not. Did you see what Joe Judge said in court?
No.
If a player gets a woman pregnant, this is what he said. He needs to be in another room, detached. He ain't waking up for midnight feedings. He needs to be away from that kid. He focused on football.
Okay.
Yeah. Joe Judge, Brett. New York Giants legend. Anyways, my hot is going to be, for the first time, class tonight. Our teacher was out. We had a sub. So it basically was just all of us telling really weird shit that has happened to us at work. And it turned into a great class. Because we just talked about a bunch of, I can't say half of it or any of it. So yeah, that's all I'll leave it at. And then my not is going to be the producer. I bet on West Ham because I was like, there's no way this dude's cutting this hair. The producer sends out a text. Oh my gosh, West Ham is going to win this thing. About a minute later, Man United scores and ties it, and West Ham draws, and I don't win any money. I was a little heated. So yeah, that's why the not this week is.
First off, this is not the producer's first appearance on the not segment.
Why? 3 times. He always jinxes me, and it's actually really frustrating.
The producer, man, the only reoccurring person on Hot and Not.
Yeah.
Jason, what's your Hot and Not? Oh, they've been absolutely great, dude. They've been great. Dude, we got to talk about the double luge for a second. Why is that a thing? I don't get it. Luke just found out what double luge is, by the way, and he cannot hold himself together.
Oh my god. This is
Of
so
course you're not. Should be double luge. That'll do it for episode 43 of System Sports. Join us on Monday when we recap college basketball and college baseball for the weekend, as well as more Olympic hockey, the golf, NASCAR, everything. The fallout will be talked about on Monday. Until then, have a good night.